Are you responsible for equipment that's 10, 20, 30, even 40 years old? If so, this video is for you. I'm Nancy Regan, and I just spent the entire weekend going through 8 filing cabinets. I started my business in 2001, and honestly, I have not gone through them since then. You can see behind me, I'm calling it my Great Purge, all of the documents that are slated for shred. I've pretty much saved everything that at one time was important, and this is what reminds me about equipment reliability. When we have equipment that is aging, what often happens is we fall into two traps. So the first thing is over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, sometimes things happen. And in response to a single event, we may institute a maintenance task or some other action. And most of us don't take the time to go back and look at things and make sure that maintenance tasks are still relevant.
Let's take a look at how reliability-centered maintenance principles can help us with this. There are 4 questions to ask to determine if a failure mode should be included in an RCM analysis. After the RCM working group has finished brainstorming failure modes that meet the first 3 criteria, the RCM facilitator leads the working group members in the final one. And all current proactive maintenance tasks are reverse engineered to ensure that each task is represented by a failure mode. Reverse engineering means the failure mode that the current task is intended to manage is identified and included in the RCM analysis if it hasn't already been documented. Reverse engineering current proactive maintenance tasks is important because it provides an opportunity to ensure failure modes haven't been missed, and it allows the current proactive maintenance program to be sanity checked. For the current proactive maintenance program, RCM analysis may verify the task and the associated interval, verify the task but change the associated interval, recommend an entirely different proactive maintenance task, or recommend a different failure management strategy altogether. Let's take a look at 2 examples of reverse engineering that may result in a change as a result of RCM analysis. Let's say we have a current maintenance task to inspect aircraft engine starter brushes every 2 years, replace the brushes when there's 0.23 inches or less remaining on the wear mark. The facilitator leads the working group in reverse engineering the task to identify the failure mode it is intended to manage. Together, they identify that the failure mode is aircraft engine starter brushes wear due to normal use. Later in the analysis, the RCM working group analyzes the failure mode and determines that this current task is technically feasible and worth doing. So they leave the current task in place. Let's look at another example. The current proactive task is replace the primary oil filter every year. The facilitator leads the working group in reverse engineering the task to identify the failure mode it is intended to manage. Together, they identify that the failure mode is primary oil filter clogs due to normal use. Later in the analysis, the RCM working group analyzes the failure mode and recommends a different task. They recommend a condition-based maintenance task instead of a preventive task. Instead of replacing the primary oil filter every year, they recommend recording the primary oil filter differential pressure every 3 months, and if the differential pressure exceeds 9 psig, switch to the backup filter and replace the primary filter. In these 2 simple examples, we've demonstrated 2 different changes as a result of RCM analysis. We've verified a task, and we've issued a completely different task.
The second thing is to make sure you review your operating environment and what you need from your equipment, because as time goes on, that can change too. And not adapting to those changes can also cause chronic unreliability. When you do reliability-centered maintenance, you naturally check these things. It's part of the philosophy of reliability-centered maintenance. You don't even need to do a full-blown RCM analysis to take advantage of its principles. I'm Nancy Regan. Thank you for watching.